Hey, I already want to buy a house. I wish my voice was that deep. It's not. Whether it's in a few months from now or a year or 2 years from now, you want to buy a house. And let's face it, if you say that in public right now, people think you're crazy. Like, why would you buy a house in this market? Well, I recently made 2 videos where I talk a little more in depth about what I think isn't happening with the market and, talk a little more about why, some people are shorting the housing market again. And a lot of you guys were freaked out by it. I understand why you might be scared about what's going on. It's definitely unstable. And if you're expecting stability anytime in that housing market soon, you're wrong. It's going to be unstable for at least the next 2 to 3 years. So let's do this. Whether you're buying today or tomorrow, next year, let me go over some things that you absolutely need to have straight before you even consider buying a house. And this is going to be a tough talk. You might not like me after this, but please like me. I need your affection very, very, very much. So I want to start off by talking about the mentality of a home buyer now. I'm not calling anybody out. I love every single one of you, but you're sending me DMs to tell you what to do with your housing goals. Javier, should I buy now? Should I buy later? Please tell me what to do. I want to tell you now, guys, you're setting yourself for failure here. Now, I'm not saying don't go seek counsel and education from other sources. You 100% should. Not only should you listen to me, you should go watch other people to get a good idea of what's going on and form your own opinion. If you go talk to your local realtor, a cousin, a friend of yours that you think will have your best interests at heart, hey, should I buy a house now or should I wait a year? Guess what they're going to tell you. Anybody who's involved in the business of real estate wants you to buy or sell a house because they make an income. Their family's well-being and food on the table is based on the fact of you buying a home. So they're going to tell you to buy a home because that's what's in their best interest. So please, oh please, oh please, do not go for other people and tell them to make the decisions for you. The fear and panic you're feeling right now is caused by a change of mentality, a change of perspective. The way you perceive housing to be is going to change. It is no longer going to be a safe investment where you make thousands and thousands of dollars just for having a house. It is going to be a risk where you have to now consider other factors like your area, people moving into the state, the job opportunity, the future job opportunity of your city and state. You need to think of this as a bigger picture. Go to people for resources, get opinions, but you need to make sure to form your own opinion. So first things first, you need to have heart. Having that strength and fortitude is going to be something you absolutely need when you start looking for a house, because it is not easy to find a house no more. Yes, there's people out there that have gotten a very easy experience, but this market is brutal. This market is absolutely brutal. You're going to get your butt kicked a few times and you're going to want to give up. Now, before we talk about money, the second thing I think you're going to need for sure is you need to have your long-term goals really set and defined, okay? Housing, for me, at least from the clients I've helped for the past, almost 8 years now. God, I'm old.
Ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get in.
You need to have your long-term goals set because you need to be buying your house right now, not as a short-term investment, but a long-term gamble. There is no guarantee that your house is going to increase or decrease in value. This is no longer a nice, safe investment. You want to make sure you do your research on a bigger scale, right? You're not just going to invest in a stock just because it has a pretty name or because people are telling you, hey, you should buy this stock. Likewise, people telling you, hey, you should buy a house. Don't listen to people. Make your own opinion. Do you have the need to move right now? Do you really need to move out? Like, do you have a kid on the way? Are you been living in an apartment for the last 5 years and you've just been working on your credit and now you're ready to buy? Maybe you've outgrown your house. I don't know what the situation may be, but you need to truly ask yourself, are you ready to buy this house? And are you ready to be in this house for the next 10 years? You want to know if you're really ready to buy right now? You need to ask yourself this question, okay? If you were to buy a house today, get a nice affordable payment that will not increase in value because it's a fixed interest rate, and about 3 to 4 years from now, your house loses half of its value. So you still live in the same house, you still have the same monthly payment, but its value has now been cut in half. So if you try to sell it, you're going to owe half of the money back. You're not going to make any money on it. Would you still move forward with the purchase of this house? Now, this is super extreme. This is not going to happen. I guarantee for sure we're not going to lose half of our housing values in the next 2 or 3 years, but this is how serious it needs to be. If the answer to this question is no, heck, I'm absolutely not. I mean, I'm not going to lose half of my money, then you're not buying for the right reasons. If you're saying, you know what, even if I lose value in my house, I can afford the monthly payment. I needed to buy a house. I need somewhere to live. I mean, I need another bedroom. I needed this. I needed that. So I don't care what happens to the value because I'm going to be this for the long term. If it goes down, it'll go up again and I'm going to be okay. Then that's ready. And our third and final thing is, you're not going to like this. You're going to have to have your finances in order. So you know how most people got scared with the videos I made about the housing market? Well, there's still a group of people that were enforced with that video. Can you imagine having that kind of security and stability where you watch a guy on YouTube that's very ugly and kind of chubby make a video about the housing market and you say, yep, I'm ready to buy. Let's do this. You know why that's the case? Because the people that are buying now have been preparing for the last year. What do I mean about having your finances together? Well, let's break it down. Number one, you're going to need your housing savings. Housing savings is made up of your estimated down payment, your estimated closing costs, maybe an extra $1,000 for inspections, appraisals, whatever that's going to be. This is just for your housing expenses. You need to have a separate savings account for your emergency savings. So it was very common for the last 8 years for people to simply buy a house using all of their savings and then just hoping they were going to make it up as they live in it. This is not what you want to put yourself into. Even though you're pretty solid, your job is great and everything's fine, you know, you want to have plan B's and plan C's here, because the realtor that sells you the house, they're not going to be paying your payments if you lose your job. The lender that helps you lend on the house, they're not going to be there to help you pay your payments. You need to depend on yourself here. You need to make sure you make the right decision for you and your family. Make sure you have that emergency savings for any emergency with your health, your children's health, your spouse's health, your car breaking down. And I'm going to throw another wrench at you. You need a third savings, okay? The God honest truth is the people that are getting their offers accepted now are because of this third miscellaneous savings. And the ones that aren't is because they don't have it. The third miscellaneous savings is going to be made up for two things: either extra money that you have saved up for the repairs of a house, opening up your possibilities to looking up at fixer-uppers instead of just the beautiful houses everybody's fighting over. And if you are going to be looking for those houses that are super beautiful, this miscellaneous funds could also act as the money you throw at the seller on top of the appraised value. Now, I know you're scrolling down to write a nasty comment right now, so please just hold off, okay? Hold off on the nasty comment. I am going to read it and I'm going to cry about it later, but this is a fact of the matter, guys. If you want a nice, beautiful house in a desirable area, people are coming up with another 5, maybe even 10K on top of appraisal value. It's crazy. I know. It doesn't make sense. I know. But if you're going to be looking at these kind of houses, you need to be able to play the game. If you don't like this, then you need to be buying fixer-uppers, houses that need a little work. And guess what? They're going to need some liquid money. If you think you're going to move into a fixer-upper and magically $5,000 to $10,000 are going to pop up to help you repair it, it doesn't work like that, sweetie. It doesn't work like that. If you're in a position where you're like, oh, Javier, I think I want to get down payment assistance. Javier, I think I want to start to pay my closing costs for me. Don't. For the love of God, do not buy right now. It's possible. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure somebody in the comment section will always say, Javier, you're wrong. I got closing costs. I got down payment assistance. You're wrong. Here's a fact, okay? Sellers smell any kind of weaknesses with their buyer. If you're down payment assistance, they're not going to like you. If you're FHA or VA, they're not going to like you. And this is real discrimination here. I had a VA buyer that for 4 or 5 months, I couldn't find them a house. And we were making amazing offers that were beating out everyone else. But do you know why we weren't getting our offer accepted? Because we were a VA loan. If you're coming to the table asking for handouts, the only thing you're going to get handed out is your butt, because you're going to go back home. My intention is not to scare you from buying a house, okay? I mean, I actually did get a lot of real estate agents and lenders reach out to me because they were upset about the video I made. Saying I'm discouraging people from buying and selling houses. What am I doing? I'm not here to convince you to buy or sell. I'm here to give you the truth so you can make a better educated decision. And if real estate agents and lenders cannot see that, it's no wonder why we're getting losing our jobs to people like Zillow and Open Door. We need to educate the people so they can make the best decisions for themselves and the family. Let them learn the truth so they can make the harder decision to make them stronger buyers. We need to raise our standards for people. We need to be educating people at a higher level. Gosh darn it, I'm fired up. So please, guys, if you're buying a house soon, have your crap together, because everyone else out there does not looking out for you. They want to sell you a house so they can make a commission, and they are not looking out for your best interest. So if you're going to be crazy enough to take a risk in this market, good for you. Get a nice cheap interest rate. Do what you got to do, but have your stuff together.